I'm back, family. Peace. In 2019, I virtually destroyed the Brazwell Bay grand body. I exposed Brazwell Bay as one who had perpetrated a big fraud before Moorish people. He claimed to be the Supreme Grand Sheikh, appointed down the line of Grand Sheikhs, extending from Emeliel by the way of the Prophet. I proved that to be wrong. Also proved that he was a minister of a church on a church board. And then I went further to prove that he told his members that they were purchasing the building 3140. And he lied. From that, his members did research and everyone would go their separate ways. In 2026, the Moorish Science Temple of America, styled as the Noble Temples, had an infiltrator. He has been amongst us for the past 3 or 4 years. And he has been funneling information back to those that was dismantled and separated, put on an island to themselves from the Brazwell Bay grand body. Today they have shown their head. They have jumped out of the bushes in 2026. So tonight I will recap what I done in 2019. I will also teach how the Supreme Grand Sheikh is installed and how the Supreme Grand Sheikh and the Grand Sheikh and Chairman is established in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I will also disqualify those who claim to be representing Prophet Noble Drew Ali and all of those that claim that they are going to disqualify the work that has been done under the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Temple. Family, get your popcorn, get your kombucha, and get all your snacks. Because tonight is going to be a treat on top of a treat. I'm going to teach you Moorish science. I'm going to teach you structural Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm going to expose the frauds. You know what was coming. You should have never came back. You should have never came back. Why you play these games with me? You know I'm gonna cook you. You know I'm gonna cook you.
The lesson today, family, we are going to have a lesson here, and the lesson that we're going to have is going to start it right here. We're going to start the lesson right here. First of all, this guy claims that he's going to beat me up. This guy here. Listen. This guy here, you'll be hearing posts, or you'll be seeing posts from this guy here. This guy has a nerve to be named Fuller Bay. Now, Fuller Bay is full of bay and everything in the bay. Fuller Bay is one of these young guys that have joined the Moorish Science Temple of America under Brazwell Bay. He seeks to be a podcaster and a content creator, and he fails miserably at it. For some strange reason, he thinks he is going to be able to build a content off of me. Well, build some content off of me. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. No, in fact, I love to be the bearer of bad news. I'm the content creator, and you are the content. All right, let's be clear. I'm the content creator, and you are the content. Tonight, you are the content. Now, I'm going to break down a few things, but in this thing that I break down, I'm also going to teach valuable lessons on Moorish science. I want you to continue to press 7 if you hear me, because I want to make sure that if it go out, that I have to check some controls and get them right. I want to get them right. So this is one guy. All right. Fuller Bay. Now, the one that put the battery in everybody back is this guy, Brewington Bay. He is the battery guy. Brewington Bay is always brewing up something, and he must be drinking it, because to come against me, he must be drinking whatever he's brewing. You understand what I'm talking about? Now, let me tell you about this guy. This guy comes out of the Rosadiel group. He was under fraud Rosadiel, helping Rosadiel with his fraud for years. In fact, he convinced people that he's a scholar of Moorish science. You follow what I'm saying? Hold up, my phone ringing. Hold up. Let me get it. Let me set it up. He convinced everybody in his circle that he's a scholar of Moorish science. Here is the question. How is one considered a scholar on Moorish science and their scholarship has never been tested? Has anybody ever seen this guy in an intellectual conversation as it relates to Moorish science? But he got the people around him believing that he's a scholar of Moorish science. It's very easy to say that when you don't put your scholarship next to someone else's scholarship. That's very easy to say. One of the things that he convinced people of is that Brazwell Bay is the legitimate grand body. Those people that are under Brazwell Bay even till this day, and those that have left Brazwell Bay, they believe that Brazwell Bay is the only legitimate grand body. Tonight, I'm going to dispel that myth in part 1 of this demonstration. And then I'm going to do part 2 at a later date. But he had people believing, even this Fuller guy, have him believing that he is sharp in Moorish science. At best, this guy is a parakeet of information. At best, he's a parakeet of information. In other words, he has some good information, but he don't know what it means. And he got these people believing the most craziest stuff. And tonight is your night. You don't get to hide in the background and put batteries in Fat Boy back. You don't get to do that, because you're ruining this young man. This young man could be great one day. Your life is washed up and you're going to ruin this young man. And you have been ruining him for years, because he's been coming in my inbox since I dismantled the operation of Brazwell Bay. You're ruining this young man. Instead of giving him some guidance, brother, listen, leave that Taharka Bey alone. Brother, listen, man, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't, hey family, can I get on my soapbox? Brewington Bay, you ain't building nothing in no community. You ain't organizing no people to do anything significant nowhere in the United States. You talk about the virtual temple and you on a phone every Friday talking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You ain't got nothing solid going on nowhere. Nowhere. And if you do, you still don't, because don't nobody know about it. Nobody's aware of you. Nobody's aware of what you're doing in the name of the prophet. And you got the nerve to come on social media and say that Taharka Bey a fraud? Oh my God, I'm glad you did it. You gave me the opportunity to drag you now. And don't you call me the bully. Moors, don't you call me the bully. Clarence Prather. Listen, brother, I'm only responding to these people. I got to talk to my brother Clarence Prather because Clarence Prather is such a beautiful soul. Hey, brother, I got to respond to these people, man. I got to keep the scimitar sharp. You know what I'm talking about? I got to keep it sharp. But we going to get down with the get down. We got plenty of people in the building, family. Go ahead, buckle up, and let's get busy. First of all, matter of fact, let me see. I don't even know where I want to start this. Let's start it from the top. Let's take it from the top. Back in 2019, when I dismantled, let me pull up my slide. Back in 2019, when I dismantled Brazwell Bay Group. Here we go. Let me pull it up. Back in 2019, when I dismantled Brazwell Bay Group, it was bad. Let me tell you why it was bad. The reason why it was bad, because all of the guys that followed Brazwell Bay, one of the questions that they was asking me is, where did I get my authority? That was the main question that they would ask. Where did I get my authority? And my question is, okay, where do Brazwell Bay get his authority? I think that's a fair question. Family, this is interactive. Press 7 if that's a fair question. Now, here we go. They follow Brazwell Bay and they claim that Brazwell Bay is the legitimate heir of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is interactive, so I want you to press 7 if you're with me, so I make sure I'm on the right page. Wouldn't it be fair? If you say Brazwell Bay is the legitimate heir, the first thing that you ask is, who made Brazwell Bay an adapt, who made Brazwell Bay a sheik, and who administered the chamber to Brazwell Bay? Wouldn't that be fair to ask? Anybody that knows me knows that Baliel made me an adapt, Baliel made me a sheik, Baliel and other sheiks administered the chamber, including R. Edwards L. and my elder D. Eddington L. Wouldn't that be fair to ask? When you ask these type of questions, people are dumbfounded. Oh, you know he was with Baliel. I didn't ask you that. I asked you who made him an adapt, who made him a sheik. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you is, have you seen his adapt or sheik papers credentials? We'll get into mine in a minute. Have anybody seen Brazwell Bay adapt or sheik paper credentials with a signature that's not his? This is how we dismantle these fake frauds. Just because someone been around since 84, that doesn't mean that they know. Now, that's where we start this off. So if we cannot qualify Brazwell Bay as an adapt, Brazwell Bay as a sheik, Brazwell Bay as an officer, I don't care who he was with. I don't care who pointed him into position. It don't make no difference to me. I need to see it. Put the paper down. But hey, let's just say Brazwell Bay is an adapt, sheik, etc., etc. Let's just say all that is true. If it's not true, anything that you say is disqualified. You're not an adapt, you're not a sheik, you're not any of that. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that your adapt rituals consist of y'all rubbing each other's feet and washing each other's feet in water, acting like you on sacred ground. That ain't a part of the adapt ritual. Let's be clear. Washing your feet and a grown man washing your feet Don't tell me about no tradition, because I don't mind the tradition, but when the tradition is not consistent with what the prophet gave us, don't tell me about no tradition. It's not consistent. It's not consistent. That has nothing to do with the Adap ritual. Let's be clear. So none of y'all know what the Adap is. Number one, none of y'all know. Number one, I know what y'all know. In fact, let's get down with the get down. Let's get down with the get down. This is a post from 2019. This is a post from 2019. He says, just let it be known, if your falsehood about what it means to be a Moorish American Muslim member of the Moorish Science Temple of America come across my timeline, I am duty bound to correct whatever is wrong in your missive with correct knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Little boy, you knows nothing about this. You knows nothing about this, because when you put a battery in a young brother back that don't know a spoon from a fork, but keep on filling both of them up so his cheeks are bubbling and running out the side of his neck with nonsense, you don't know nothing about Moorish science. You don't know nothing about Moorish science. But I'm going to teach you tonight. I'm going to teach you tonight, Brewington Bay. I know you're watching. Good. Keep watching. Let me slim this down so we can get to it. Let me slim this down. So let me get you out the way. Let's get to it. I hope y'all can see the screen, because I'm about to get busy on this demonstration. You know what I mean? I'm about to get busy on this demonstration. Make sure y'all share this. The guy that's behind Brazwell Bay is East L. East L used to be in my inbox sharing information about other Moors, and I still got it all. I saved it. Sharing information about other Moorish groups, trying to get me to go at other Moorish groups. The problem with that, if you keep giving me information to go at other Moorish groups, I'm gonna look at you sideways. Because I don't target Moorish groups just to be having a conversation. I target misinformation, not groups. But the brother was sending me information. Then the moment that I threw the Brazwell Bay regime under the bus and exposed the lie, he also flipped and he became to attack. He came to attack. And that's East Hill. Now, let's be clear, family. In reality, tonight is sport and play, entertainment, and a little bit of lessons. Because these people ain't doing nothing in our community. These people are not valuable people in our community. They're nobodies for real. But for the sake to use this to teach a lesson, I will jump on the opportunity. These people are nobody for real. But let's jump on the opportunity. First of all, let's get to this guy, Fuller. This is the guy that is going to beat me up. This is the guy that's going to beat me up. This guy here. You see? Oh, you don't see him? Let me see if you can see. This is the guy that's going to beat me up. This is also the guy that said that Tariq Nasheed smacked me and I ran. Okay, I get that. I'm going to run from you too. I'm going to run from you. And the reason I'm going to run from you, I'm going to circle the block and I'm going to fire. Listen. I'm going to run from you too and give you a heart attack. All right? I've done all my scrapping. I've done all my surrendering. I'm running from the police, Tariq Nasheed, and all those police he had on the roof, and I'm going to run from you and give you a heart attack. I'm going to run. You can't catch me. And I'm going to circle the block and fop. Look at you. Look at you. Just take a look at yourself. Why are you arguing with me on the internet? Do you have something else you should be doing that's more important? Do you have some? Look at you. Take a look at you, boy. Do you have something else you should be doing? I think you should be doing something else with your time instead of trying to debate Moorish science on the internet. This is not a good look, brother. This is not a good look, brother. You're going to beat me up? Brother, are you 15 years old? Do you realize that all of your flesh will be all over the road? Who talks about while you're doing that, what I'm going to be doing? But most of you people can't wait to take the stand. So stop threatening people on the internet, because I'm not going to say anything in response to your tough talk. But what I will say is, brother, do something about that. Beat that up around your waist. Look at your blue belt, brother. Brother, look at your blue belt. Brother, look at your blue belt, bro. Bro, don't beat me up. Beat that belt. Come on, bro. Look at your blue belt, bro. Bro, do you have anything better to do with your time, bro? Come on, man. Look at you. Looking like a wild Samoan. And you up here arguing on the internet? Look, brother. I'm not finished with you yet. I'm not going to teach the lesson. I told you this is going to be entertainment. So this guy here have a nerve to say Taharka Bey got a European at the convention. Family, do anybody realize that the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a racist organization, that we have public meetings and that anybody can come in? Do anybody realize that the Friday meeting is a public meeting, that we have public sessions at convention and anybody can come in? Listen, one thing about me, you ain't gonna make me feel some type of way because I allow Europeans into a public place. And if Europeans think that they can relate to the prophet's teachings and they not causing a disruption, they can come into the public place. And Miss Ann is one of those Europeans that is she ain't causing no trouble. She come to relate to the teachers, and she came all the way from Mississippi to hear the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See, y'all mad because y'all ain't that influential. Y'all ain't that influential. See, y'all go and get taught by Europeans. Europeans come to me to be taught. Y'all not that influential. See, Miss Ann can relate to the universal teachings. And we don't amalgamate with Europeans. But it's a public place. And if a European decide to amalgamate their understanding with Moorish science, who am I? But it's a public place. We don't allow Europeans to obtain membership in our temple. We don't allow Europeans to maintain any type of membership in the Moorish Science Temple of America, but it is a public place. And we have people in all walks of life that appreciate Moorish science and appreciate Prophet Noble Drew Ali and appreciate the People's Grand Sheikh, Brother Taharka Bey. So you ain't gonna never shame me because we have a Vietnamese that visit us, that we have a European visit us, that we have anybody of any ethnic group visit us. But we are clear in the Moorish Science Temple of America, styled as the Noble Temples. We are clear that this is for your salvation, that this is for the people from 1779 to 1865 during the time of slavery. We are clear on that. But guess what? You follow Brazwell Bay, and Brazwell Bay made European adapts. Brazwell Bay made Europeans adapts. Huh? And you was and y'all try to make him seem like he's an Indian. I remember when I was up there in 2016, I was like, good goodness gracious, this is a European. Had just went through their adapt chamber. Me and the elders went over there to meet Brazwell Bay. I said, good goodness gracious. I said, man, I ain't even gonna ask. I ain't even gonna ask. So don't sit up there and tell me because you see a European in a picture with some Moors in a public meeting that you got a problem with Europeans. Don't tell me you got a problem with European when your little sloppy behind is laying around wrestling with these Europeans. Don't tell me you got a European, that you got a problem with Europeans when you're nasty behind sitting up there wrestling, and sharing sweat with Europeans. How dare you? How dare you act like you got a problem with Europeans? How dare you? You sitting around wrestling and sharing nasty sweat with your little funky behind with Europeans. How in the world you gonna act like you got problems with Europeans? You better... How you gonna act like you got a problem with Europeans when you sharing your nasty sweat with Europeans on a nasty mat? How are you gonna act like you got a problem with Europeans, Chubby? Come on, Chubby. Come on, Chubby. You doing MMA, being trained in martial arts, a sacred science by Europeans. Chubby, don't play with me, Chubby. Come on, Chubby. You can't have a problem with Europeans. You ain't got no pictures of me wrestling with no Europeans. You ain't gonna have no picture with me sharing my sweat with Europeans, you nasty hound. How dare you talk about Miss Ann being in a picture with us? How dare you? You nasty hound. You're going to sit around and roll around a mat with a European and share sweat, you little goofy, dirty, funky hound. How dare you disrespect the work that we doing? The Prophet Noble Ali told us that this is going to be taught universally in all lands. But the Moorish Science Temple of America is a membership for those from 1779 to 1865 during the time of slavery, you dirty, rotten, funky hound. You're going to sit up there and wrestle around the ground with Europeans, sharing your funky sweat, and then got a nerve to look at a picture of a public meeting with a European in it and go and say, he ain't got European. You little funky hound. You little funky hound. Look at you. Just look at you. You just disgust me at this point. Listen, see, I'm a different type of Moor. You just disgust me. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And you let Brewington Bay put a battery in your back. Listen, family, you know good and well I go to war like Hannibal. I don't go to war and pull punches. You let him put a battery in your back. Oh, man. Hold up. Look at you. You are sick. You are sick. There's no way in the world, there's no way humanly possible would you ever catch me in a position like this. Never. Never. You look like a slave. You look like a slave, boy. Look at you. Never would you ever catch me in a situation like this. You old slave. Don't you ever come on my page again talking slick, you old slave. Look at you. Look at you. Just look at you. Take a look at you. You just disgust me. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with you. But we're going to let people learn from you tonight. We're going to let people learn from you tonight. Oh, yeah, you let somebody put it back. And then look at the symbolic gesture of the slaveholder. Look at the symbolic gesture. You talk about somebody in my picture. Look at the symbolic gesture. Look at it. Look at it. Y'all see that? And this guy got a nerve to talk about people who come and support our endeavor and our events. Y'all don't even have events. Y'all don't even have events. If you so disgusting and nasty that will roll around in the ground with a European and share your nasty sweat with a European, you mean tell me that you ain't gonna let them come to a public event? You love them. Of course you would. Of course you would. You love them pings. See, there's a difference between me and you. There's a difference between me and you. I'm a teacher. You go get taught by Europeans. There's a difference between me and you. You having the time of your life laying there. Look at you. Looking so comfortable and happy with your jelly roll self and got a nerve to play with me. He beat his baby mother. He did that. Man, don't nobody care about what you talking about. Let's get down with the get down. Let's talk about what you did talk about, though. Right here. This is what he talk about. He said, you have not lived a good moral life if you have admitted to beating your child's mother, yet laughing it off as if it's okay. Yet when you flew across to California, you let the spokesman for FBA smack you, and all you did was run back to Maryland and sue. Let me tell you something. The moment that you beat these weirdos down, the first thing they do is try to project something that is not even legitimate. One thing about this guy is that if he know what I sued for, he wouldn't be saying what he's saying. But he's goofy. He got half information. Now, did I sue because the weirdo tried to set me up with the police and swing on me? Oh, surely did. Surely did. And would do it again. If I look around, it's a bunch of police surrounded on the roof and in cars and ready to lock me up if I beat the brakes off of you and you swing on me, I'm going to let you. I might fall to the ground and cry, and I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get you too. So, yep, I am. And guess what? Guess what? I don't want nobody be around to stop you. I'm going to boo-hoo and cry. I want my paper. That's right. So you can't guilt me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about me, little boy. I've been in the most illest situations that a man could never imagine. You know what I'm saying? Brother, I survived some of the most craziest situations a person could ever imagine and came out on top. I never had no problem with the Pokemon or the thing go bang bang or these hands. Never had a problem with that. But I'm a little older now and I'm a little wiser now. I'm a little smarter now. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to deal with things and think on my feet. You can't think on your feet because you're going to weeble wobble and fall right down to the ground. Goofy, you know what I mean? But that's what he said. But I'm not going to get that wrong. Then he said, you claim you built temples. This is what he said. This is how reckless these people are. He said, you claim you built temples, that you are being sued for not paying your rent. Well, brother, that doesn't make sense. See how goofy this is? And I'm going to explain this to y'all because this is very dear to my heart. Press 7. So he goes on the criminal search in Maryland to look at my record as if that's the first time that's ever been done. That's been done so many times, who cares? But this is the one that's dear to my heart. He said, you claim to build temples that you are being sued for not paying rent. Let me explain something to you, goofy. I have a son named Toronto Johnson. All right? My son's mother passed away. So they was trying to sue my son because his mother had passed away, goofy. And if you read the whole thing, I addressed it and had it removed. So you got to be careful about what you're putting out, because now you're injecting innocent people into your nonsense. You're implementing innocent people. You're implementing innocent lives that has nothing to do. And this is why the energy you put out, the energy you will claim. The energy you put out, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're going there reading something and don't know what you're talking about. So for your information, that was my son. And they was trying to sue my son because his mother passed away. And when she passed away, no one told the people that she passed away. So they went to try to get my son. Do you understand? God bless my son's mother, Gwendolyn. But back to you. Be careful. Don't let people put batteries in your back, because now you are inheriting dark energy. Chubby, you are now inheriting dark energy because you're speaking on something that you don't know what you're speaking about. And all through this presentation, I'm going to show how you're speaking on things that you don't know what you're talking about. And when you do that, you will inherit the dark energy that come with your malice intent, my brother. You're young, brother. Do not speak on things that you're not sure of, because you will inherit the malice energy that comes with it. Family, press 7 if you're with me. That's a lesson right there. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Never speak on something where you're not conclusive about what you're talking about, because ultimately you will. This is why in life, we are faced with a lot of things in life and we don't understand why these things befall us. Well, sometimes we inherit energy that we put out by not understanding what we put out, and then it goes full circle to us. You don't know what you're saying, but by default, you're going to inherit it. And we need to do better with that. We need to do better with that. Stop speaking on stuff that you're not sure of, because in this whole presentation, you're speaking on stuff that you're unsure of. And now you are responsible for what you're unsure of, and you're going to inherit that dark energy. It is what it is. It has nothing to do with me. It's you, because you're wrong in a lot of this stuff. Now, he said, so what we have here is a big-head scientist making little four-legged beasts run around thinking they could stand up when the time presents. It is finished. You may have the internet, but remember the scripture. Now he want to teach scripture. Here we go. Where you think you are most strong, truly you are most weak. You run to the keyboard because your handlers are watching, so nobody can do anything. Family. Every time someone are forced to take a L, they always say someone has handlers. Family, I go to New York. I go to Detroit. I went to California in a Crip neighborhood by myself and didn't tell anybody I was going. I didn't tell no member of the Moorish Science Temple of America I was going. I went by myself. But I got handlers. Anybody in Baltimore, when they see me, they see me. But I got handlers. People will say anything to deflect, because I'm going to get into the lessons in a minute. But I got to put you on Front Street. But you run to the internet. How can one even say that I run to the internet? I have an internet presence, of course. However, I build on the ground. Let me say again. What I see, this is what he say. You run to the keyboard because your handlers are watching, so nobody can do anything. Fam, do you hear the contradiction in that stupid statement? Let's read it again. He said, you run to the keyboard because your handlers are watching, so nobody can do anything. How in the world that the handlers are going to stop somebody for doing something on the internet? You see how dumb this sounds? Basically, I come to the keyboard because I'm protected at the keyboard by the handlers, because can't nobody do anything. You see how illiterate and ignorant and dumb this book. See, that's what happened when you eat too many pork chops and it start to infiltrate your brain. That's what happened. Start saying dumb stuff. At least you could have said, yeah, when you walk around in public, you got handlers with you. You say you go to the internet so the handlers can. Let me carry on. This is his statement. This is him. What I see is the core. What I see is a bent, fragile spine. I see eyes heavy with regret. I see cries behind the smile. Brother, you should be a poet or something, but it don't pertain to me. But let's talk about it. I see those teeth when the Europeans come around, but I don't see it. But I don't see is a more. Those of the prophet Drew Ali. What I don't see is an adab and a sheik. What I don't see is a man. A sense of ethers changes. Now back to the case. Now hold up. Family. When somebody is agitated with you or beefing with you, one of the first things you want to ask is, why are they so mad? Why are you so mad? I mean, in reality, Chubby, I don't even know you. In reality, Chubby, I never engaged you because you're insignificant in the big scheme of things. I don't even know who you are. So, Chubby, I don't know who you are. I never engaged you. Why are you so mad? I've never done anything to you. I don't even know you. What you're looking at now is what he posts on his Facebook page. Chubby, you have bigger problems than me. Chubby, why are you posting all of this heart disease, heart attack food on your Facebook page? Why? Why are you in love with heart attack food on this? I went to look on the Facebook page so I can clown you, and you clowning yourself. This is pathetic. I actually feel sorry for you. That you got a whole page full of heart busting food. This is what you love. You don't love the prophet. You got a whole page, picture after picture of just heart attack food. And you gonna beat me up? You're gonna beat me up, brother. You're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna bust your heart. Look at this. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Now, one page, this is disgusting. Look at you. You looking at this like, take unto thyself a wife. You think this is a wife? Obey the orders of Allah. Take unto thyself a wife. But examine with care. Look at you examination. Look at you. And you gonna beat me up? Brother. The only reason that you are probably in MMA because you want men to grab you. Because there's no way humanly possible that you are able to go any distance eating like this and looking like that. There's no way. There's no way, chubby. Look at you. This is sad. This is sad. Look at this. Look at this. Potatoes, jam, potatoes, potatoes. That's your favorite song, fat boy? Potatoes, jam, potatoes. Look at this. Look at this. But you threatening a grown man on the internet and expect me to respond? Nope, I'm going to clown you. I'm going to clown you because you're a clown. You see, this is clown nonsense right here. Potatoes. You goofball. Look at you. Now, the clowning is up. Let's get to it. Back in 2019, Cujo was coming at these people. Cujo from Canada was debating with these people about the legitimacy of Brazwell Bay. Recently, I see a post where Cujo then even teamed up with these weirdos. Because let me tell you something. What happened was this. Now, when I first did the thing on Brazwell Bay, I got the timestamp. It was February 3rd, 2019. You hear what I say? It was February 3rd, 2019 when I dismantled them. I actually did a pay-per-view on it, and it did very well. And it was basically talking about the myth of the Supreme Grand Sheik, and I was breaking it down, right? Now, here is the question. Here is the standing question. Everything went quiet until a few days ago. This person started jumping on my page. But this person started jumping on my page only after I removed this guy from the Moorish Science Temple of America styled as the Noble Temples. This guy here joined the temple. I let him play the background. He seemed to be learning. I thought that I given him the benefit of the doubt. He been around the Moorish Science Temple of America styled as the Noble Temples since 2023, maybe 2022. But I began to look at him sideways the first time he had a dispute with me about a year and a half ago. Now you got to follow the scenario. About a year and a half ago, he had a dispute with me that in my mind, like, what are we disputing about? You know what I'm saying? What's the dispute? I don't even remember the details to this day, but I knew it was petty, but he got all fired up. I removed him. I removed him from the group. He went to another guy that's suspect, and the guy reached out to me. I say, okay, I'll let him back into the temple. You know what I mean? I let him back into the temple. I noticed the guy recording the meetings. I noticed the guy screenshotting the meetings. I ain't say nothing. My wife took to his daughter because she was teaching children's Sundays class. Now, I don't want to go into great detail, but the other day, he makes a post and says, do one receive a nationality card after 90 days? Or do one, how long it takes to receive a nationality card? Now, I knew that was a direct shot to me because when you join the Moorish Science Temple of America style, as the Noble Temple, we have a 90-day policy before you receive a nationality card because some people join just to get nationality cards. I've been around long enough. I seen Taharka Bey go in Temple number 11 and act like he was a member and walked out with a nationality card and then did a show talking about he's a Moorish American, he's a member of Temple number 11. I seen many Moors do that. So we have a policy that you have a 90-day period. But the 90-day period is contingent upon Act 7. And then you're entitled to the name of faithful. And now in the sense you're entitled to the name of faithful, we expect to see you being active, productive, and participating in the Moorish Science Temple of America. If you're not active, productive, and participating and look like you're growing and coming along, then guess what? I might not send out a nationality card. Now, in some people cases, I delayed sending them out because I'm juggling too much. We're trying to build the Moorish Science Temple of America. We have been trying to put the effort to build it in the last 7-8 years, and we're finally getting some momentum going. We've always had some sustainability, but now we're getting growth. You know what I'm saying? Now we're getting growth. With that being said, now we're getting growth. So when the brother said that, I knew that was coming for me because that's our policy. However, the brother literally did the minimal in participating as it relates to paying dues, as it relates to making himself available for events. From 2023 to 2026, he never attended any event that we've had. And when people talk about dues, people don't understand. We throw events. You know what I mean? We throw events. Bro, I don't want you. Look, let me block this guy real quick. I don't want you comment because I'm doing the show tonight. You don't get the comment, all right? You don't get the comment tonight. Hold on, fam. You don't get the comment. I'm doing the show tonight. You don't get the comment. All right? You don't get the comment tonight. Matter of fact, I might let you comment and then I come back and block it later. Let me finish. I ain't gonna let you distract me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, so he never participated into anything that we was doing. The only thing he would do is play the background and be in the meetings, right? He would play in the background. Now he say I stole from him, but I'm not going to pay him no mind. But at the end of the day, when he made that statement, I was like, nah, bruh. We ain't doing that. So what I would do is remove him from the group. Because since 2023, he paid dues less than 10 times. You follow me? He paid dues less than 10 times. So I was like, nah, bruh. We're not doing this. And what we do is we always got something going on. So if you're not participating in trying to open a temple, if you're not participating in paying dues, if you're not participating in the things that we doing, what's the point? This is an uplifting organization. You know what I mean? What we doing? So anyway, I don't want to belabor this point, but from 2023, the guy never participated besides demonstrating and paying dues maybe 10 times. So when he put up that post, I'm like, why is this guy coming for me? He already know our policy is 90 days. He already know he don't have his. So I would reflect back and remember him trying to get me signed papers so he can get his name changed. And he would seem like he was in desperation to get his name changed. And I'm telling him that the Moorish Science Temple of America does not facilitate name change. That is personal. You have to change your name yourself if that's what you want to do. The Moorish Science Temple of America gives you a title of Bell and Bay and L, and I will stand on and support that. But I'm not writing you something to change your name. So he would seem to be desperate of changing his name. Now I'm wondering, why is he so desperate to change his name? Because when we look at the Moorish Science Temple of America, although I go by Taharka Bey, my name is Toronto Johnson Bey, T. Johnson Bey. I'm asking, why? What's the urgency? What's the urgency? For whatever reason, there was an urgency. Then I'm looking at the situation sideways, right? I'm looking at the situation sideways. The brother said that he come from Ohio, but he's in Boston, Massachusetts. What's in Boston, Massachusetts? No harm, no foul. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's your thing. Second thing is, he claimed I owe him money. I did a pre-sale for a book called More Don't Mean Black. Once the book came, it was errors in the book, so nobody got the book. Nobody who ordered the book got the book. Knight Bay in here still waiting for his book. There's other people still waiting for his book. It was errors. So I had to get it readdressed so I won't send a book out with errors. I would send him his $35. That's not a big thing to me. But he only bring up the book or the $35 yesterday after all of this time. Let me cook. The thing is, I say, send me the receipt where you paid for the book. I looked for this receipt. I didn't see the receipt. But I know he was in the group hearing me tell people about the book. And is he claiming that he bought a book, or did he really buy a book? Send me the receipt of the book that you purchased so I can reimburse you. That's it. That's all. He never sent the receipt. He never sent the receipt. But he only started talking about this book yesterday. Now, hold up. Family, I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do it today. Because I think this guy is an op. Eruptively, the guy jumps up and moves to Arizona. When he moves to Arizona, and my wife ain't going to like that I say this, when he moved to Arizona, he didn't have anything. So he leaves Boston, Massachusetts with no family. He leaves Boston, Massachusetts with nobody there. And he leaves Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm saying nobody there because when he goes into Arizona, it was my wife and my household that had to send him a blow-up mattress so he can sleep. Him and his baby can sleep. This is why I feel so disrespected. It was my wife that sent him a blow-up mattress so they can sleep. It was my wife that sent him pots and pans. Because he's talking about, he was talking to my wife like a mama. He was talking to my wife like a mama. It was my wife. And normally I don't do this, but the guy is just so disrespectful. The guy is so disrespectful. I got to put it out there. It was my wife, you know what I mean, that bought the pots and pans and sent them in the mail, paid the postage. And when he could not get into the meeting, it was my wife. It was my wife. The one that bought them an iPad. It was my wife that bought them an iPad so they can attend the meetings of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It was my wife. That's why I feel so disrespected. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. It was my wife that did this. It was my wife. And today my wife still pays on that iPad. She pays on the iPad because she put it on her account and it takes it out of her account every week. It was my wife that did that. And he has a nerve to go on social media. He has a nerve to go on social media with that madness and act as if that he has a problem with dues being paid 90 days. He comes on social media acting like that. It was my wife that made sure he had pots and pans. It was my wife to make sure that he had a place to sleep. It was my wife. This is why I feel so disrespected that he will bring this madness to the internet. But let me tell you something. With that being said, the reason why we have to address this now, because once I seen him to be so angry, I said to myself, hold up. It got to be more to this. It got to be more to this. So what I did was I began to try to research this guy. I began to try to research him. And in trying to research the guy, I found nothing. I kept hitting a brick wall. What I mean by that, because I do social media and I look people up, what I normally do is I look for red flags. One of the red flags that I look for, I go to your social media and I look at your social media activity. And once I look at your social media activity, I decide whether you are do you have potential to be a op, or is you just goofy? So when I looked at the social media thing, I found out that he came to social media in 2022. Around the same time, he went to take out membership in the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I'm saying? The same time, he went to take out membership in the Moorish Science Temple of America. So we're in 2026 right now. Hold on one second. Let me get my mind right. Let me see. We're in 2026 right now. With that being said, when I look back, I started thinking, like, hold up. This guy been around since 2022 in the temple. I'm looking at his social media, and on his social media, he do not have any history behind 2022. If he posts anything on his page, there's no engagement. And which I mean that if you go on the average person page, you'll see family. You go on the average person page, you'll see engagement. If you post your daughter, one of the things that people would do, they would be like really enthused to comment. They'd be enthused to give a heart. He doesn't have none of that. It's like he's a lone guy. And researching people, that's a dead giveaway. Because one thing that ops do that they will not do, they will not expose their family. I mean, they will not expose their family to the information. You know what I'm saying? Because if they expose their family to the information, what'll happen is if they get caught doing whatever operation they under, they put their family in harm's way. I learned that about Tariq Nasheed. I learned that about Brother Polite. And I learned that about a lot of other people on the internet, where they will not have an association with their families on social media if they're in an operation. Now, I'm not saying that the brother is in an operation. I'm saying that these are red flags. And then I would discover when he goes to Arizona, I meet him in Arizona. I meet him and talk to him in Arizona. And he appears to be an all right brother. However, in studying people, something is off. And it's not obvious to the naked eye, but for me, I know something is off. I don't know what it is. Nervousness, I don't know what it is. Something is off. Something is off. And with me, I don't have to try to figure out what is off. All I need to know that it is off. And here's another lesson for you. When your higher self tells you something is off, believe it. Something is off. I left it as it is. When I get back to Baltimore, we about to make changes. Listen to this, family. We about to make changes. We about to get rid of all the people that are just sitting around in the temple doing nothing. Why? Because in Detroit, we got people that are sacrificing to build a community center. In Baltimore, we got people that are sacrificing to help build what we got going on here in Baltimore as it relates to a store, community center, as well as temple. We have people that are willing to sacrifice to build in Alabama. We have people that's willing to put their money up to build in other places like New York City under the leadership of Sheikis T. Mudiel. We got people that put their money together to help me and my family travel to these places and do these lectures that we don't charge a dime for. We have brother that is the assistant Grand Sheik that put up his location so we can have lectures and we can interact with the public and teach them the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We have people that donate to make sure that some of these things are cut in the cost. And you're sitting around not making a contribution. No, you getting out of here. You getting out of here. And that's just what it is. Now, in the meantime, in between time, here we go. In the meantime, in between time, this guy comes out of nowhere recently. This guy recently comes out of nowhere. Now, in my mind, I'm like, why did this guy automatically pop up once again? What makes this guy pop up once again? And I notice on the post that this guy is talking. This guy is also on the post. This guy is also on the post. But now listen to this. This guy that's making posts, he's giving bad information. He has a story, like one of the story talks about one of our sheikas who went to Atlanta and came back and ultimately she became the grand sheikas of a temple. That's the way he break the story down. But he puts, and I ain't even gonna put the garbage to it. He adds so much garbage to it. I'm like, nah, this guy is lurking in the shadows or somebody telling him part of the story. The only one I could think of that's telling them part of the story is this guy, because he was in the temple at the time that the sister went to Atlanta, and she didn't move to Atlanta. She was assisting brothers in Atlanta because Atlanta temple was under the Moorish Temple of America. When they broke off, she had friends and she was assisting them, and there was other issues. And the issue wasn't me. However, she went to Atlanta. Whatever went on there ain't none of my business. Who knows? Sister came back, and the sister is representing like no other. But I'm wondering, how do this guy know the story? And he got the story messed up. The only one that could be trying to tell the story in a bad way is this guy. So the guy is feeding these people information that's bad information. He's feeding these people bad information. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me that he will be feeding them bad information, because at the end of the day, I know what the information is. All right, let me bring it on home. He's feeding these people bad information. One of the information that he feed the people is that I had a building foreclosed on. I'm like, why would somebody think that I have a building foreclosed on? Well, I always tell the story how Arneal Bey called the city to Baltimore and tried to get one of the buildings that we had bought for the Moorish Science Temple of America in the Moorish Village. How he had tried to sabotage the building, and they put it on the condemn list, and they was going to tear the building down. I had to go and fight these people to show that I had permits, that I had everything that was properly addressed, and I saved the building. Ultimately, I said, if they can do that in that district, I'm going to sell the building, and then I went and got another building. Here is the thing to that. I never had a mortgage on any building. So for him to say that I was getting foreclosed on the building, only this one could have got part of the story and passed it on to them. Because they talking this stuff on the internet to attack me, but none of the stuff is true. So this guy is in the meeting listening to whatever we're talking about, and then he's giving it to these people. He's giving it to these people. These people are putting it on the internet, but it's all wrong. None of it makes sense. All right, we're going to get to the lessons in a minute. Now, with that being said, let's get to some of the stuff that these people talk about. One of the things that these people like to talk about is that, let me address this and then we're going to get busy. One of the things these people like to talk about is what happened to the Moorish village. This what he said. What happened to the Moorish colony? In fact, it was a project that I was trying to put together in 2015, 2016 called the Moorish Village. And I was calling all Moors together that we could put some money together and start a central location with the Moorish Village. Within that time, no Moors, even the ones that I was cool with, made contributions. I was with a group called the Ali's Men, and there's not one person in Ali's Men that donated a dime. They didn't donate a dime. Do you hear me? Do anybody remember back in 2015, 2016, I used to travel around all the grand bodies, talking to everybody, being friends with everybody, thinking that we all gonna work it out. That's me with Brazwell Bay right there. Anybody remember that? Press 7 if anybody remember that. At that time, I thought Moors really wanted something. At that time, I was disillusioned to think that Moors actually wanted some unity. I would find out that they didn't want any unity. I would find out that what Moors really want is power. And what other Moors want is a savior. So you have the leader that want the power, and you have the followers that want the savior. They don't want to do nothing for real. I figured it out. So guess what? No one supported the Moorish Village idea. So whatever money that I raised on GoFundMe, which maybe was like $1,500, I took that. I took the money that I had and took money that my mother gave me, and I say, maybe if I will start it. Maybe if I was started, then people would jump in. So I took the coins, I took the pennies, I got money from my mother, I got some coins from the members that we had in the virtual temple, and I went and got the building. Once I got it, they tried to sabotage it, and then Moors didn't want a Moorish village. They didn't want it. So I scrapped it. So, Chubby, you're asking what happened to the Moorish colony? It was unable to happen because it's not up to me to build the Moorish nation by myself, chubby. A nation consists of everybody participating. Now, chubby, what have you attempted to do besides make your belly hang over your belt? What have you done? What have you attempted to do? What have you done besides to make your belly hang over your belt? What have you attempted to do? What have you tried to do? What have Brewington Bay tried to do? What have any of y'all tried to do? Show me. What have y'all tried to do? Show me what y'all have tried to do. Before you come at me, show me what you have initiated. You haven't even tried to do nothing. And got a nerve to call me a fraud, but you ain't even tried nothing? Okay, I like that. The only thing you tried to do is fill your belly. Get in my belly. That's the only thing you tried to do. It's the only thing you've been trying to do. Look at you. You're just disgusting. Look at you. Got a nerve to talk. Okay, let's get into the lesson now. Y'all ready for the lesson? I got like 30, 40 minutes and I'm gonna get into this lesson. Here we go. So one of the things that the guy like to ask is of a few things, and I'm gonna address the main things, is this. He says that who made me a grand sheik? I want to get the paper. I want to get the thing where he says that Belial says don't mess with him. Da, da, da. Let me tell y'all the story real quick. Let me tell y'all the story because I don't think I can find it right now. Let me tell y'all a story. So, at the end of the day, right? I was under the leadership of David Belial. When I created the virtual and I told this story a million times. You know what I mean? I told this story a million times. When I created the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America, I went to convention. I asked Belial, could I create the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America, and he approved it. I created the Moorish Science Temple of America under the auspice of the leadership of David Belial. The reason why I separated myself from David Belial, I never was expelled from the administration. I've never had an infraction with the administration. The reason I separated myself from David Belial because his then assistant accused me of forging David Belial's signature, which was false. I was the Grand Sheik of Temple number 19. I transferred my charter to another brother in Baltimore that is Temple number 19 till this day. Belial gave me another charter to Temple number 22. Because the guy that was set to be Belial's assistant wasn't at convention that year, he asked me who gave me a charter. I felt disrespected because if you are the assistant of the Supreme Grand Sheik, you should ask the Supreme Grand Sheik. We did a Zoom call and he said, let me see the charter, as if I forged Belial's signature. I then reached out to Belial. I said, Supreme Grand Sheik, there's no way I can be a part of something where the assistant is going to act as if that I would forge your signature. Belial said, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. I said, okay. When he talked to him, when he talked to him, it seems to me that the brother would not budge, and he stood on business and not admitting that he was wrong to accuse me like that. And I said to Belial, I said, Belial, I'm going to continue to do the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America. Would you like me to send back my credentials? I believe I have faith and confidence that the door of religious freedom swings open and anyone can walk through as they see fit. I said, Belial, do you want me to send my credentials, my charm, and do you want me to send my charter in? He said, no. Continue to do what you're doing. And that's how that went. Periodically, me, him, and the brother would have conversations with myself and my assistant at the time, Akhenaten, to see how we could bring things together. Unfortunately, which leads me and segue to the next part, unfortunately, in my teaching within the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America and under Temple number 22, the research would have it that we all been bamboozled. I've already known we were bamboozled. One of the reasons we was bamboozled is we believe that someone has the authority that extends from the prophet as it relates to a grand body, when that is not true. When that is not true. So even these goofies right here, they believe that someone has a power to extend the power from the institution that the prophet created called the grand body, and the leader being a supreme grand sheik. Now, here is the lesson that I will break down. First of all, Brazwell Bay has no authority as a supreme grand sheik in the most strictest and literal sense. And here's why. There's two reasons why. One reason is that he left Belial. He never was a sheik. He never was an adept. He left Belial under the auspice of embezzling $100,000. Press 7 if you hear me. Press 7 if you hear me. Belial did not give him any blessing. Belial did not say, okay, that's it, that's cool. And then he faked. Oh, y'all don't know who I'm talking about. He faked. And this is important. He faked as if that he is the legitimate grand body, and people like Chubby believe him. People like Chubby believe him. You hear what I say? They believe him. Watch this. This guy believe him. Brewington Bay believe him. But I'm going to show you something right now. At the end of the day, this is what Belial put out. This is what Belial put out. Now, when they come to me, come with receipts. Don't tell me what somebody said. Come with receipts, because I'm coming with the goods. I'm coming with the goods. Let's read. Because they really think Brazwell Bay is still the official Supreme Grand Sheik. But I'm going to show you two ways why he's not. I, Bro David Belial, do solemnly swear and affirm that the following governing officials of the MSTFA have been consulted in September of 2013 relative to fraudulent affidavit filed by Emmanuel Brazwell Bay, Bro Malik Anwar Muel, Bro K Pitts L, Bro Shahid L, and Bro E Mesfin L, and Bro Dangerville. Consequently, this rebuttal affidavit number filed for the record. Y'all with me? This is why. Let's just say he went through all the proper channels, but this is why he's illegitimate and they still think he's legit. Here we go. And according with rules and regulation principle usage of the MSTFA, the position of Supreme Grand Sheik and Chairman is an appointed position And there is no document or meeting record substantiating that Emmanuel Brazwell Bay was appointed to the position of Supreme Grand Sheikh and Chairman of the MST of A in 1997. Listen, we got to go with records. You want to see my records? I can show them to you. There is no. This is Baliel. Y'all talk about Baliel said this. I called Baliel. No. Show me the receipts. Because Baliel filed everything. If Baliel removed me, trust me, I can show you who Baliel removed. Baliel filed everything. Everyone that was made a sheik with Baliel, he filed it with Cook County. Everyone that was made an Adad with Baliel, he filed it with Cook County. Everyone that Baliel removed, he did what? He filed it with Cook County. So don't tell me I talked to Baliel right before he passed and he said, shut up with that. Shut up. You don't even know Baliel. Because Baliel would have picked up the phone and said, Islam, Islam, yeah, Islam. And that would have been the end of that. And in fact, if he knew that you was coming under the auspice of Brazwell Bay, you definitely gonna get no play. Because, man, he was really, really disappointed with Brazwell Bay, how Brazwell Bay did him and stole the things from him. In fact, I was the only one to defend Baliel when they was calling him a homosexual. I was the only one that went online to defend Baliel. So there's no way in the world that you could tell me that you talked to Baliel and he talk about he removed or did something, but you talking crazy. In fact, I got all Brazwell Bay records. I got Brazwell Bay records from the California Temple. Baliel gave me all the records from everything that happened with Brazwell Bay when I was defending him. Everything. I got all the records. That's for part two. That's for part two. I got the charges. I got the case. I got everything. I got all the records. So don't tell me about something. You talk to some Baliel, you weirdo. But here we go. You know what I mean? Here we go. And guess what? Baliel gave me the records. I didn't find these records. He sent them to me. I got them because I was defending him about people calling him a homo. So don't tell me you talked to some Baliel. But anyway, this is what Baliel says. For them that think that Brazwell Bay is the Supreme Grand Sheikh, you can think what you want. 2, 3, and 4. Brazwell Bay in 1996 National Convention in conjunction with Brother P. Davis L. announced that the grand body has been absorbed by the Supreme Council and no longer exists. Do you remember that? Was you around then? 2, 3, and 4. Brazwell Bay in 1996 National Convention in conjunction with P. Davis L. announced that the grand body has been absorbed by the Supreme Council and no longer exists. Any reference by him to a grand body or conclave is fraudulent and deceptive. From 1997 to 2004, he had never held nor chaired a grand body or conclave meeting. This is David Baliel. Nor during this time period did he file charges on me, Brother David Baliel, or any other Moors. Our rules and regulation principles uses require that charges be filed with the Supreme Grand Secretary, reviewed, or forwarded them to the grand body for trial. This is our established procedure for complying with our supreme laws and the Supreme Grand Council regulations, which were enacted in 1995 while Brazwell Bay went on AWOL for 4 months, having accused Bro P. Davis L. of having sex with his wife. Come on, man. Don't make me pull out the goods. Don't make me pull out the goods. This is the people that y'all look up as a Supreme Grand Sheikh. This is y'all people. This is the person that I exposed that made y'all leave him. And you mad at me. But here we go. The letters put in the record where Brazwell Bay speaks of charges are fraudulent and deceptive because the charges mentioned does not exist. Brazwell Bay been telling people for a long time that he put charges on Baliel. I was defending Baliel against this nonsense. There was never no charges put on Baliel. I'm the only one that was defending Baliel against this. From the Sinettas, from y'all, from everybody. Y'all was calling him out his name. Y'all was accusing him of some madness. I was the only one defending him. No one else. And no one over there can say on the record, hold up. No one, even in that body till this day, on the record can say, and I love them brothers over there. But let me say this. There is no brother over there, even till this day, that defend Baliel more than I have. Not on this forum. I went up against Sinetta. I went up against Michael Edwards. I went up against Brazwell Bays. I went up against everybody to defend Baliel. There's not one person on the Baliel roster that have stood 10 toes down for Baliel like me. And it's all recorded. So don't tell me Baliel told you this or told you that. You believe Brazwell Bay is the supreme grand sheik. I'm telling you that Brazwell Bay inched itself in there, and nobody had enough exposure to really let everybody know. But we got it today. Taharka Bey got it today. It's going to be 1,000 views on here. It's going to be 2,000 views on here. Then I'm going to upload it on YouTube. They know it today. Baliel speaking from the ethers today. He's speaking from the ethers today. You want to talk about my credentials? This who gave me my credentials, David Baliel. This who never revoked my credentials, David Baliel. This is the one that rubber stamped me, David Baliel. That's right. This is the one made me a divine minister. His signature is on my papers. David Baliel. This is the one that made me a sheik, a grand sheik. David Baliel. This is the one that made me an adap. David Baliel. His signature is on my papers. Whose signature is on Brazwell Bay paper? Have you even seen him? Now let's get down with the get down. Let's read some more. According to historical documents and our divine constitution and bylaws, our grand body and grand sheiks, with an assistant, have the power to make and enforce law. In order to remove, suspend, expel someone, Brazwell Bay would do it in an unlawful and illegal manner, as evidenced by his holding Supreme Grand Council meeting. Putting an issue on the table, listen to what everyone has to say. Well, here's my decision. Accordingly, those removal actions in affidavit 11 that were taken by Emmanuel Brazwell Bay were and are unlawful, illegal, and are not enforceable. Even the Moors named in this removal action. In other words, Brazwell Bay simply filed an affidavit saying he's removing Baliel. Nobody is removed like that. That's just like the Kirkman Bay group say, "Oh, we came with governors, 10 governors, 20 governors, and we decide to pick Kirkman Bay." Where they do that at? But Baliel put it on the record. 5 and 6, according to the rules and regulation, principles, and uses of the MST of A, all removal, suspension, expulsions, actions taken by Brazwell Bay and the cited affidavit were unlawful, illegal, and not enforceable upon any Moors. In addition, this is the next paragraph. In addition, his assertion that I and other Moors have unlawfully collected finance from other Moors, then used that finance in an unlawful manner, is a blatant false assertion which cannot be proven by him. For the record, it should be said that he is the one who collected and misused and failed to account to the MST of a finance as evidenced by his putting per capita tax, special tax, and uplifting funds about $100,000 into Temple Number One's bank account, using this finance as he saw fit, mainly to pay Temple Number One's rent and bills, then refused to account for these Grand Treasury funds. There was no Grand Treasury bank account, and he refused to set one up. I am no angel, nor is anyone I know, but I obey Noble Drew Ali's law. And Emmanuel Brazwell Bay has never filed a charge on me. This is Baliel. This is Baliel. Has never filed a charge on me. And if he did, it wouldn't stick. It would not stick. This is David Baliel. Now, why did I show all that? Why did I show all that? Let me explain to you why I show all that. The reason why I show all of that is because these people are still under the impression that Brazwell Bay has some authority. And they asking me, where is my authority? Well, I will see you live and let's debate your authority to my authority next to Brazwell Bay authority. How about that? Let's do it respectful. I won't call you chubby. I won't call you fat boy. I won't call you steak babbler eater. I won't call you anything. But what I will do is, I will show you every record that I have that has been filed with the county of Cook to legitimize my standing as an adept, as a sheik, as a divine minister. And I would ask you to show me the same. You can't show me that. You're just on the internet talking. You can't show me that. You or your daddy that put the battery in your back cannot show me that. You can't show me that. You're just talking, chubby. You're just talking. You're just talking. And I'm saying, keep on talking. Now, this is another reason why I chose to take and do what I did. Chubby posted this on the internet. And what he says is, I think I got it right here. He posts this on the internet. And let me share it with you. And I'm going to break this down for a minute. Let me break this down for you. So I'm going to give you the science on this. All right. Let me give you the science on this. Let me give you the science on this. Now, Chubby posts this. Listen to this. I want y'all to listen close because there's a lesson in this. He says, Baliel was removed from the grand body. As Supreme Grand Sheik, he was removed, which led to the elevation of P. Davis-El. This Davis-El chose to reconstruct the grand body, and there was one Temple Number One. Upon the work, many temples came. Unfortunately, Davis-El had health issues that led to his death, etc., etc. As you can see, Lamu, this guy, is right there with him. Funny how they created a relationship so fast. Funny. Never seen them communicating before, but in the last few days, they're chummy chum chum. They're chummy chum chum. But now we're going to break this down because little fella, Fuller Bay don't know what he's talking about. So this is what Fuller Bay put up right here. All right. Now let's break this down. Let's break this down. Let me pull it back up and let's break this down. This is what these people don't know. They don't understand Moorish science at all. Are y'all ready? Take a quick stretch. Get me some water. Listen to this. This is Moorish Science 101 about the elevation of the Supreme Grand Sheik. So the way the organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America works, it's a perpetual organization. In other words, it has the elements to make sure that it never dies, that it never fades, that it never goes away. In these unlearned people mind, they believe that in order for the Moorish Science Temple of America to maintain, they would have to be an unbreakable chain of the Supreme Grand Sheiks. I want you to follow me slow on this. They think that you got to have an unbreakable line of Supreme Grand Sheiks, starting with the appointment of Emiliel, and then they go down. Let me blow this up because I want y'all all to get this lesson. Starting from Emiliel in 1934, and then they go down to Moorish L in 34, then they go down to Walton Bay in 35 to 36, then they go down to Harlan Bay, and then from 44, then they go to Lewis L, then they go to Bailey L in 92, then they go to P. Davis in 92 to 97, and then they go to Brazwell Bay. Okay, follow me on this one. Follow me on this one. That's water. I put water in my kombucha bottle, boy. So listen, here is the fallacy. Number one, when let me grab my brother Emiliel. Number one, when Emiliel transitioned, right? Here's the lesson, family. Stick with me. When Emiliel transitioned, the movement fell in the hands of Delia Miliel, and I say per se. And what I mean by per se, Edward Miliel went to Mississippi and ultimately transitioned, and I think he was poisoned. I haven't been able to reprove it yet. So when Emiliel fades out, and he's the only appointed Supreme Grand Sheik of the Supreme Grand Council and the head of the Moorish Science Temple of America, they claim the next one is Moorish L because Moorish L was his assistant. But in fact, Moorish L had joined Kirkman Bey. Moorish L had joined Kirkman Bey. So if Moorish L joins Kirkman Bey, that means there is no Supreme Grand Sheik and there is no Supreme Grand Council. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to bring it all the way home for you. Secondly, they claim that Walton Bay was the Supreme Grand Sheik from 35 to 36. The question is, when was the convention to confirm Moorish L? When was the convention to confirm Walton Bay? There is none. They say that Moorish L was the Supreme Grand Sheik in 1935, when in fact in 1935 the only one that had a convention was Sister Delia Miliel. It's the only one. So this is a lie. Brother E. Walton Bay, who is he? This is a lie. So what happened? What happened? They made up a line of Supreme Grand Sheiks. To be a Supreme Grand Sheik, there have to be a Supreme Grand Council. The Supreme Grand Council was dissolved when Emiliel transitioned. So this is all a lie. You understand what I'm saying? It's all a lie. It's all made up. After Emiliel transition, there was no Supreme Grand Council. But let me help you out. It doesn't take a Supreme Grand Council to construct the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Supreme Grand Council is the last thing that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did with the movement, and that was the icing on the cake. And Emiliel called that the first setting of the Moorish Science Temple, the first setting of the Supreme Grand Council. We as the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Temples, we will be having the second setting of the Supreme Grand Council under my leadership and under my authority, and I'll explain that in a minute. However, how can Brazwell Bay be a Supreme Grand Sheik if the Supreme Grand Sheik line that he follows is a lie? Now listen, I had this same conversation with Baliel. What perpetuates the movement? The only thing that perpetuates the movement is what's on back. Email say, look on back of your questionnaire. The only thing that perpetuates the movement is the trustee, the sheik. Do you remember on the back of the questionnaire? Hold on, let me pull it up. Do you remember on the back of the questionnaire that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali appointed Email F. Nelson Bey? Email Small Bay. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I ain't on my right computer. Let me see if I can find it so I can just break it down to some people. I can find it online real quick. I just want to show it just for I want to show just so people can learn. Just so people can learn real quick. I want to show you the back of this real quick. Okay. All right, let me see if I got it right here. So on the back of the questionnaire, it talks about, Email say, look at your questionnaire. Hold up. And on the back of the questionnaire, it talks about the appointees. Here it is right here. All right, let me show it to you. Now, this might be a copy. It could be a little bit janky, but don't trip. I'm just making a quick point. I just pulled it offline. All right. So Email say check your questionnaire, right? Look at the back of the questionnaire and you'll see the lineup. So on the back of the questionnaire, you see Noble Drew Ali, Small Bay, Lovett Bay, and Foreman Bay. This is the lineup that Email is talking about. He said, if you want to know who's the leader of the Moorish Science Temple of America, who's in charge, or who was left in charge, look on the back of your questionnaire. And you can see right after Noble Drew Ali, you see Email. Now, with that being said, when you look at the lineup on the questionnaire, the last Supreme Grand Sheik, the last head of the Prophets movement was Email. Now, when you look at the top of this, it says 1928 for the purpose, the following persons was appointed sheiks. In the original document, Prophet Noble Drew Ali crosses out trustees, and he used the term sheik in place of trustees. When you look at Herds Provide statute, you understand what the power of the trustee is. So when Belial made me a sheik, he made me, say it with me now, he made me a trustee. When he made, and if he didn't remove me for infraction, or he never took me up on charges, I didn't leave under bad terms. I never left under bad terms. And so when people say I left something, I didn't. I just stood my ground on business. And Belial said, carry on, do your thing. But a sheik is a trustee. And when you understand what a trustee responsibility is, let me rewind and remind you. Because Belial is a sheik, he doesn't have to be a Supreme Grand Sheik, because the trustee and the sheik is afforded with the power to make sure that the movement continues on. So Belial didn't have to say he was a Supreme Grand Sheik to perpetuate the movement and restart the movement, because he came from the line of Email, and Email came from the line of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So he was a sheik and he was a trustee, and he had every right to restart the movement. But the problem came is when Brazwell Bay and P. Davis L came to him and convinced him that they had to make up a fake lineup. So when Belial makes me a sheik and he makes somebody else a sheik, he makes them trustees, and they are empowered, unless Belial remove them with an affidavit, they are empowered to make sure that the movement perpetuates to the next level, unless they are removed. They must be removed. The same way Belial said that he said, show me the paperwork. Show me where they removed me. Show me where they charged me. Show me. And when you are made a trustee, the same way you got the paperwork to become an adept, the same way you got the paperwork to become a sheik, the same way you got the paperwork, the same paperwork got to be filed, or you are a trustee. And that's just what it is. And that's law. That's not emotions. That's law. So when Belial said, keep doing what you're doing, that's law. And as a trustee, you're empowered. And now guess what? We are circling the wagons on you weirdos. And we are building the Moorish Science Temple of America. Extended from the line of being a sheik made by Belial. Sheik, he being made by O. Louis L. He being made by Harlan Bey, Sister Delia Miliel. They being made by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Now let's trace you back. See, I don't claim to be from a lineage of an organized supreme grand sheiks and a supreme grand council and a supreme body. I say that we are building this thing. And so if you join the Moorish Science Temple of America styled as the Noble Temples, you need to know that we are building it because they destroyed it. But they only destroyed it in the physical because it's right there in the ethers. And all we got to do is cleanse ourselves, get our mind right, and build it as we are doing right now. Who wants some smoke? But let me get back to this list. Brother E. Walton Bey, they don't even know who he is. And they claim he was a Supreme Grand Sheik. In order for one to be a Supreme Grand Sheik of the Supreme Grand Council, a convention must take place. And not only a convention must take place, it can only be done by appointment. Press 7. Didn't Belial just say that? Who appointed me? Belial. Did he remove me? No. Who appointed Brazwell Bay? Who appointed you? In fact, who appointed any one of you to say anything in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America if you want to be for real? Who appointed this guy? Who? Show me your paperwork. And if you got some from Brazwell Bay, it's fraudulent. Show me yours. You on the internet talking what? Show me yours. You on the internet talking what? Show me what you got. Show me yours. Show me what you got. Show me yours. All of mine is signed by Belial. Never was removed, never taken up all charges, never accused of anything. But guess what you accused me of? You accused me of charging somebody $35 for membership. Of course, we are going to build this nation whether you like it or not. And $35 is going to hold people accountable. In fact, it's 40 now. That's right. It's going to hold people accountable. That's right. It is what it is. But if a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. You know what I'm saying? And just because this guy is on Section 8, just because this guy is getting a government money from the government, that doesn't mean that you can't assist in other ways. 5 years you've been on Section 8. 5 years. A grown man on Section 8. 5 years. 5 years you've been getting EBT. 5 years. 5 years. You can get in SNAP. You can get a job. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Who paying you? How you not have a job for 5 years? Huh? How is a grown man in his 30s do not live off of the state in the way that you do? Huh? Then got a nerve to put a comment on here that my wife sent you a housewarming. How do you leave from a place and you don't have nothing? You need someone to buy you a blow up mattress, brother. And you got a nerve to come on the internet and talk slick to me? That money came out my family house to buy you a blow up mattress for you and your loved one. That came out my family house. And you got a nerve to come on the internet and disrespect me? It was my wife didn't want you to sleep on a hardwood floor. It was my wife that had empathy for you and yours. And you gonna come on the internet and disrespect me? And then say I owe you something? And then say I owe you something? You are the lowest of the low. You are the lowest of the low. You are the lowest of the low. My wife just gonna have to be mad at me for letting it all out tonight. But you are the lowest of the low. Let me get down with it. Again, when you get to Walton Bay, there is no convention, there is no appointment. When you get to Harlan Bay, the appointment comes from Sister Delia Meliel. You hear what I say? The appointment of Harlan Bay as a chairman, not a Supreme Grand Sheik, comes from Delia Meliel. The appointment of Harlan Bay and then O. Louis L. comes from Delia Meliel. Belial, O. Louis L., Delia Meliel. They were chairmans. They wasn't Supreme Grand Sheiks. So what happened was this, family. Here is what you need to know. So how did P. Davis L. become the Supreme Grand Sheik? Well, as told by Belial, when they showed up, they started creating this scenario saying that they found Temple Number 1. But it was a scheme. It was a scheme because 957th Street had shut down by the way of R. Love L. He took them to court, filed an injunction. They didn't show up to court and they shut it down. And so P. Davis L., Brazwell Bay, Rosadi L. would join Belial and attempt to take over Belial's Temple Number 1 items and call themselves Temple Number 1. They will make the thing seem as if there was a treasure hunt, and now they have found the real Temple Number 1. They schemed Belial out of his chairman position and put themselves in position. P. Davis L. taking the position of Supreme Grand Sheik. Brazwell Bay taking the position of governor, of Grand Governor. Belial, he's rocking with him. The reason why Belial is rocking with him is because Belial had a love and a passion for the Moorish movement and he wanted to reclaim it back. And in his mind, he thought that he had to go with setting up the lineage of leaders as the Inc. has. J. Blakely Bey, F. Nelson Bey, R. Love L., etc. Because he felt like the Inc. had a direct connection to Prophet Noble Drew Ali by Kirkman Bey claiming that he was the Grand Sheik and moderator from 1929, and R. Love L. was the leader from that line that connects to the Prophet. So he felt like that he would have to do it too. So he went with the scheme where P. Davis L. and Brazwell Bay developed. Press 7 if y'all with me so far. I'm almost finished. He went with the scheme. He felt that he needed to do it in order to reclaim the movement, because the Inc. could trace back to Kirkman Bey of 1929, which was a lie. Kirkman Bey didn't install himself until Emilio passed 1934. So he felt that he had to do what he had to do to reclaim the movement. And so when P. Davis L. created this fictitious line, he went along with it. for the purpose of snatching the movement from the hands of the ink. But little do he know, he was the only authority connected to the prophet by the way of being a sheik and a trustee. And I told him that. I said, you didn't have to do that. You are the only authority. Your credentials connect directly to the prophet. They left the prophet. They are not legitimate. You can restart the movement at any moment. You can restart it at any moment. Why? Because you're a sheik, you're a trustee. They left the movement. Belial was disgusted how Brazwell Bay tried to taint his name and ruin what was so promising. This is the fact of the matter. And in part 2, I'm going to show you the receipts. I'm going to show you the communication. I'm going to show you the emails. I'm going to show you the receipts. So the only reason that there's a lineage like this of Supreme Grand Sheiks is because Belial thought that's what he needed to take people to court to reclaim the movement. When in fact, all he had to show is that he is related to Delia Belial, that he's related to Belial, and that they are related to the prophet as it relates to being a trustee. Remember that this is a religious corporation. So corporation structure supports the next of kin. Even if you don't understand the prophet structure as it relates to Supreme Grand Sheik, Supreme Grand Council, and Grand Body, the next of kin is the heir of one who was appointed. And you cannot deny that Belial was appointed. And you cannot deny that I was appointed a sheik. You cannot deny that I was appointed an adab. You cannot show me where Belial removed me. You cannot do that. And so it's mine and those who I make sheiks and those who I make adabs. It's our responsibility to make sure that this movement see the light of day. And ain't nobody moving and shaking like us. I stand on that. I stand on that. And I love brothers like Clarence Prather. He move and shake here in Baltimore. I love my brothers from the resurrection, even though I don't agree with them 100% philosophically. I love them brothers, they moving and shaking. I love my brother Daryl Barnes Bay. I love my brothers who keep it 100. I love Walter Glendenning Bay. I love those Moors that stand on business as they know it. And they may not agree with me. But one thing for sure and two things for certain. You can't take my credentials just because you don't like me. You can't say I'm a fraud just because you don't like me. Because everything that I've done, whether it was a $10,000 building or a $50,000 building, I went into my pocket. Majority of the money came out my pocket. I'm broke from going in my pocket. What you talking about? You ain't burn up near gas going up no highway. You ain't burn up no you ain't make your tires raggedy going up no highway. You ain't pack your babies in no car to go up no highway. You ain't pack your wife in no car to go up no highway in the name of the Moorish Temple of America. Who the heck are you to say that I'm a fraud? Huh? You ain't put your wife in no car and say, come on, baby, we gonna do some uplifting in New York. You ain't put your wife in no car, say we gonna do some uplifting in Detroit. You ain't put no baby in no car. You ain't did that. You ain't put no money where your mouth is. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You ain't did none of that. You ain't got no right to say nothing. You need to just shut your mouth. Because for one, you ain't teaching in the name of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And number two, you ain't spending in the way of Allah. You ain't doing none of that. You're on the internet talking, and you think I'm talking because I don't show you everything I'm doing on the ground. Because I don't show you, and I will never show you weirdos what I'm doing on the ground, because you nasty, sick people will try to sabotage little babies that are being helped by my efforts. You will try to sabotage women that are being helped by my efforts. You will try to sabotage the very temple that the Prophet instructed us to build and defend just because you don't like me. And you's a weirdo for that. And to y'all, buddy, how did you get so angry? I never did anything to you. How did you get so angry? I never did anything to you. What is wrong with you people? I never did nothing to you people. And now let me bring it home with this, because we're gonna do a part 2. Most of y'all know nothing about Moorish science as it relates to Islamism. Now you done left this guy to run with y'all to learn goofy nonsensism. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that you have learned from Brazwell Bay is Sufism. Because he's a part of a Sufi order. He's a part of a Sufi order. You hear what I say? He's a part of a Sufi order. You see this? He's a part of a Sufi order. See the difference between me and you? My Islamism is sound. My Islamism is universal and identifiable in all true teachers. So I don't have to become a Sufi. I don't have to become a Sufi. The Sufi gonna have to become me. I don't have to become something else. This is why y'all make Europeans adapts. This is why. This is the reason why y'all make Europeans adapts, because y'all believe in that Sufi softness. That's why when I first walked into that convention and that European said to me, Islam, brother. I said, brother, don't talk to me with that tone. I said, put some bass in your voice. He said, Islam, I like your show, brother. I'm trying to figure out why he whispering so much. I'm trying to figure out why he talks so soft. And then I come to find out in the Sufi orders, they can't raise their voice for some reason or another. Talking to me soft. Don't you talk to me soft. I don't want you talking to me soft. I'm nervous. You're talking to me soft. Don't you dare talk to me soft. You know what I mean? But that's how he was talking. Listen, let me show you something, family. At the end of the day, for you to even talk about that there's a European at our convention, for you to even try to underscore that there's a European at our convention and try to make it something that is not, and you were under a leader who actually took a European through an adapt chamber, you tripping. You know what I mean? You were under a leader who took the European through the adapt chamber, through y'all little fake adapt chamber where y'all rub each other's feet. Where y'all do some of those things that you could go to get a Diddy charge for. Oh, I got them receipts too. Yeah. I got them receipts too. Yeah. Like how are you going to sit up there and talk about that I allow anybody in our meeting, our public meeting at that? And you are part of a group that allow Europeans go through the fake feet rubbing adapt ritual over there with Brazwell Bay. You know you had your feet tickled. Boy. Don't you ever come on Facebook talking slick to me. And I'm going to do part 2 on Tuesday. I'm going to keep the hammer on you. I'm going to do part 2. I'm going to use it to teach. But you over there tickling feet and getting your feet tickled. What type of grown man? Listen, let me show you something. When a grown man sit like this, he is a receiver. The prophet never sit like that. Look at Brazwell Bay. He is a receiver. They call that a receiver in body language. When a man sit like that, he is a receiver. You understand what I'm saying? You know what a receiver is? He's a receiver. You understand? He's a receiver. Let me break it down to you if you don't understand what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying. Men try to, if they understand, if they don't understand, they should always try to espouse masculine energy. So man is created naturally as a giver. And what I mean is, when you look at the phallus is designed for entry, right? And so men sit in a masculine position. When you see the Prophet Noble Ali, he's sitting in a certain position that is a masculine position that represents God. It represents God, man. Let me show you real quick. Y'all following a fraud. There we go. Let me show you real quick. This represents God, man. All right. I'm going to show you real quick. This represents God, man. I'm gonna try to save it right quick just to show you. All right. Now, let me mark this for you. I just want to mark it. I'm gonna give it to you real quick. I'm taking all smoke today. This represents God, man. When a man is a man and understand the science of what's going on, this is what you get. When a man is unsure and he's moving in the feminine, and I'm talking about female feminine, I'm talking about sister feminine, they are receivers. You see that? See how the prophet's sitting on the 7? The left before the right. Left, right, left, like ancient Egypt. Left, right, left. See how he's giving that 7 up? You see this? This man don't know the science. He don't know the science. Y'all following someone that don't even know the science. Look at the prophet, got his left foot forward. Left, right, left, just like the military used from ancient Egypt. That comes from ancient Egypt. That comes from the pharaohs in Egypt. Left, right, left, because the heart is on the left. You always step with your heart first. That's right. And we're talking about the heart of the mind. We're not talking about the fleshly heart. Let me not give up too much science right now, because that's what y'all want to argue with me for. You want to argue with me so you can learn. See, the symbolic of stepping from the left is the symbolism of coming forward from the heart of the mind. The most intricate part of the human psyche is the heart of the mind, is the holy city of Mecca, is right where that pineal gland is, right where heaven and earth meets, right where the physical and the right where the physical and the spiritual meets. The line dividing. The line dividing matter. Come on, say it with me. Say it with me. Crossing the borderland at will. Say it with me. Say it with me. Say it with me. Y'all following somebody you don't even know who you follow. And you say that this is the man. Even today when y'all leave him and separate from him, you still say that he's the official supreme grand sheik. And you don't even know the line dividing divinity and matter. You don't even know. You don't even know. In every picture that you will see Brazwell Bay sitting in, you could see him as a receiver. You would never see him as a God man. Not as a God man. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a God man. He demonstrated the God degree. And if you haven't been taught right, then you are most likely a receiver of the feminine kind too. Now, there's nothing wrong with the sister being a feminine, but there's something wrong with you being a man and being a feminine and a receiver. And in context, no disrespect to my sister, but this is context. We all have our roles to play in humanity. You are, sisters, you are designed to receive. Men are not designed to receive, and their body language will tell on them every time. With that being said, I'm going to shut this down until Monday. Do y'all want to see part 2? Y'all want to see part 2? I need some 7s in there if y'all want to see part 2. Do y'all want to see the receipts where Brazwell Bay was taken up on charges? I got them. Do y'all want to see? Come on, man. Come on, man. Do y'all want to see some more about these weirdos? Brewington Bay? Y'all want to see some more? I'm going to leave Lamu alone. I'm going to leave Lamu alone. But I'm going to get the people that like to put batteries in people back. I'm going to get the ones that like to put batteries in people back. Because Lamu don't know no better. He just doing what he's instructed to do. That's what he's doing. He's doing what he's instructed to do. But the rest of them, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to go get them. Last but not least, y'all know I always do that. Last but not least, at the end of the day, Brazwell Bay tells on himself.
Some of our great teachers was Sister Christina Price Bay, who many people call Queen Mother. Brother Sloan Hill, who was the organizer of the Moorish Industrial Club, and a brilliant man named David Belliel. Very brilliant, and still brilliant.
Islam. Praise Allah.
And he used to say to me, he said, I don't want to just tell you, I want you to read for yourself.
Islam.
And he was very generous in sharing with me the knowledge of things that I couldn't understand.
Let me say, he's saying that because I'm standing right there filming him. He could not stand David Belliel. But I'm right there in front of him with the camera. And right before he's saying this at this event, I asked him about some of the things that Belliel had mentioned to me about their complications. And now he's trying to give Belliel supplications. But it's because I'm on the camera.
One day he went and got a box of all of those archives where they were stored. And me, myself, and a few other sheiks, we got into that box, and many of us were able to connect the dots. And we said to ourselves, so this is what happened.
Connect the dots. That's when they made up the fake Supreme Grand Sheik line.
So this is what it was.
Praise Allah. Go sit down.
And we walked out. Temple that day. It's like we had come out of a steam room. Because we had began to put all the pieces together.
So is that where the name Hotbox came from?
No, that's not the hot box. Okay. Because we later began to go through a few more boxes. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of boxes because if you recall, during the time of the Prophet, writing was the major mode of communication.
Now remember this. He's talking about going through the items that Belliel possessed from Temple Number 1. And he ultimately ended up stealing the things that he dangled in people's face.
They wrote letters all the time. Some people called, but most of the time they wrote letters. And so you have all these letters going back and forth. So later we developed what is called a hot box because certain hot documents that would set everything straight and shut everything down became available to us as to what really happened to our organization. We still have that hot box. We guard it with our life. But we know, one more said on the internet, that Temple Number 1 here.
Now, when he say that he have the hot box, he does not have much. In fact, the only thing he has is enough that he could carry, according to Belliel. But he tried to convince people that he have all of this stuff. And I have challenged him over and over and over again to, I challenged him. I said, if you claim that you have stuff from Temple Number 1, if you claim to be Temple Number 1 and that you claim to have all of this stuff, that you are the real Supreme Grand Sheik, I said, show me the minutes of the Moorish L appointment. He lied to me face to face and said, we have them. Come to Chicago. We'll show you. My brother Carter Bey was there. Carter Bey was supporting them too. I love you, Carter Bey. I said, you can't show me nothing. You don't have nothing. In fact, I already knew what he had because they had ultimately with Belliel during that time, they have categorized everything and they had inventoried the stuff that he had let people see, and Belliel knew exactly what was missing. So I knew exactly what he had. I knew he had some charters. I knew he had charters that was tattered. I knew he had charters that was unsigned. I knew he had email charters. I knew that he had letters, and I knew he had what was called an ADAP book. And the ADAP book is no more than a book with a list of ADAPs during the time of email, and maybe some during the time of the prophet. But I knew exactly what he had. But those that's with Brazwell Bay, when he start holding up these pieces of letters and start reading these letters, they be thinking that he got a whole bunch of stuff. He really don't have a whole bunch of stuff. Belial actually, like I said, they inventoried the stuff. Belial knew exactly what he had. I know exactly what he had. And Belial said, basically, before he told me what he had, he said that he only have enough that he could carry in his hand in a shoebox. And he have some letters, and he have some tattered charters. None of the charters are signed. None of them. None of them was signed. None of them. So, and he had some spent charters. But that's it, man. But anyway, family, we're gonna double back tomorrow. The boogeyman.
Certified boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
Certified boogeyman.
I am the boogeyman.
Certified boogeyman.
Check 1, 2.
Certified boogeyman.
We're gonna speak the truth, regardless of whether you like that truth or not.
Yes, indeed.
We're in the 21st century. How people are poor, hungry, begging, naked, and out of doors. How people are being murdered on a daily and consistent basis.
It's been a long time. I should have left you. A couple weak bars have crept through. He put the bean on me, I didn't neglect you. Time's up, allow me to bless you. And yell reparations and he got your attention. A failed clown rapper, claim he was pimping. What you don't know, he was a fed since 9-0. Cosmo Flex was a front for 5-0.
You can't get dropped in a pit of snakes
Certified boogeyman.
and trying to figure out which one has the venom sac.
Certified
This
boogeyman.
Charles, this one is not
Certified
poison.
boogeyman.
FBA laughed when he went to the Romans. I guess they don't understand that they own them. Lying on GS, claiming I stalked them. That ain't true, cause if it was, I'd have chalked them. I'm simply a blogger, researching for the family. Cause people look like me, continue to scam me, continue to scam us in the name of liberation. But when you call them out, they claim that you hate me.
Certified boogeyman.
Yeah.
Certified boogeyman.
Yeah.
Certified boogeyman.
Come on.
Certified boogeyman.
I'm back like I left something, and you kept frontin' sick the beams on me, but they ain't really stopping nothing. How you say you stop a man and go get a peace order? Something ain't adding up. I'm swimming in the deep waters, time to take a deep dive. See who you really are. Who named you Taharka? She affiliated with the guns? Nah, you ain't a Sunni or the nation, but ain't nobody question why you perpetrating. See, early in the 90s, they put you on a mission. Hip hop was conscious, you came with something different. Goofy clown rap, it took it off track, but you was so whack, nobody followed the act. So they made another character, turned into a thug. From Cosmo to K-Fact, but still got no love. Album with Wood, it was trash, no good. You was hip-hop police, snitching on the hood. How you make a documentary about hip-hop and not include yourself in all your albums that flop? Yeah, you got some dark secrets, I'm here to expose them, and I don't plan to stop until everybody knows them.
I did it again! Hannibal L! Hey!
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Yeah, I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I speak about the prophet over Drew Ali. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec? Told you you wasn't black and proved it was straight fact. You tripping off drugs, you need to be tripping off that. But here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European on the page and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got
lot of love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. I didn't try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all get hate when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. You don't love yourself. Fighting Murray out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish World, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, oh yeah. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember, be more. I be that boy you gon' remember, that town. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember, LA. I be that boy you gon' remember, New York. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharka Bey front line till the law call my number. You should have never came back. You should have stayed where you were and where I left you in 2019. Now I'm gonna do a series. And because you got dirty with it, I'm about to get dirty with it. I fight the devil any way I can to beat him. I throw dirt in the devil's eyes. I kick and stomp the devil toe. Don't tell me how to fight the devil. And don't call me the bully when the devil came knocking at my door. I'm out.